Hi everyone, it's been a little while since I've done a video, so I thought, what's a good way to add some value to the community? And I thought, let's do a speed run of creating an exit node VPN. So why would you want an exit node VPN? Well, this is basically the same kind of thing that you get from NordVPN or for private internet access, with the exception that you are the only person that's going to use this exit node, which is both good and bad. The good of it is that you have the entirety of the bandwidth. The bad of it is that you cannot hide amongst other people also using the exit node, and because you are paying for the exit node with your credit card information using Hetzner. If a government needed to know who owned that exit node and they provided Hetzner with a warrant, Hetzner would be obligated to tell them you are the owner of that IP address. So don't do anything bad with this. The idea is this isn't to protect you from government agencies. This is to protect you from your local internet service provider, from your Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi at the coffee shop, or the Wi-Fi provided to you by a hotel or something like that. Yeah. So why do this rather than using NordVPN or private internet access? And the reason is it's very, very cheap to do this. Those services, NordVPN, private internet access, might cost you somewhere between $5 and $15 a month, depending on like what deal you can get, if they have like a Black Friday deal or something like that. This is going to cost kind of per use, and by per use I mean because this is so easy and so fast to set up, that before you go out to the coffee shop, you'll run this procedure. You'll go to the coffee shop for a few hours. You'll come back. You'll tear down the procedure, and you have spent like 10 cents rather than the $5, $10, or $15 a month sort of thing. Yeah, so let's do the speed run. So two prerequisites: you've already signed up for Hetzner, and you've already signed up for Tailscale. Signing up for Tailscale is extraordinarily easy. In fact, I will show you. I'm already signed up, but the procedure to log on is the exact same as the procedure to sign up, and that is you will Google for Tailscale. You will click on their website. You'll open the hamburger menu to log in. You'll click one of these easy sign-up methods, either GitHub, Apple, OICD, Microsoft, or Google. I use Google, so I'm going to click that. I will click what Google account, and I am logged in, but if I was signing up to a new account, I would now have my new account set up. So the next thing to do is we want to set up the machine that we will be taking to the coffee shop or to the hotel on the Tailscale network. And that is as easy as clicking this Add Device button. And you can't see because my face is hiding it. So let me hide my face. So that is as easy as clicking this Add Device button. Over on the left-hand side here, we'll click that. It'll give us a curl script to run in a bash shell. Normally, you don't want to do that sort of thing. You don't want to like run unknown code from the internet in a bash shell, especially because we have to enter our root password here. But I trust Tailscale not to be installing malware on my machine, so I'm going to paste it into my window here and press enter. I will then, looks like I don't need to enter my super user password right now, but you do have to use super user to do that command. This command will ask for a super user password, and then it will say the installation is complete, and to log on, do the following. So we will do the following. And it will tell us to visit a website to authenticate this device. We'll click on that and click connect. And if we go back to our machines tab, we will now see that our machine is here. It's called Jupe, and it is now on the Tailscale network. Okay, so let's move on to setting up the Hetzner exit node. First thing that we're going to do is we will set up SSH keys. So I'm going to delete the SSH key that I have right now, and I'm going to go into my .ssh area and delete any test keys that I have, and I will create a new key, and I'm going to call this key test. So to do that, you do SSH keygen -t ed25519, and that's an elliptic curve algorithm, and give it a name. And we will give it the name of test. So that -f is the name, and we're going to call it test. So this will create a public-private key pair that we will be using. We're going to have a passphrase, and now we have that test. The private key and the public key. And we will give that public key to Hetzner. And by doing cat of, well, there's my private key. Don't worry, I'm going to delete this. Test.pub. So we give test.pub to Hetzner. So just copy that, and we will click the plus button to paste in a new SSH key. We'll call this test, and add the SSH key. Okay, so let's make a server. We go up to servers here on Hetzner, add a server, and let's make this in Helsinki. Let's use Fedora 39, and let's make it on the let's make it an ARM machine to do this. We're going to choose the cheapest option. So if we were to run this for an entire month, it would be €3.29, whatever euro denominates their cents in. And then there's a little bit extra because we do need the public IPv4 address. So it'll come out to like 3.89 euros per month. But of course, we're not going to use this for a month. We're going to use this for just a few hours. And then we will call this hell. And then click the Create By Now button. And we will copy this IP address, and we will start pinging for it to see when it is set up. I'm going to go down and remove any known hosts from my machine. And we're waiting for the ping to tell us that it has an IPv4 address. All right, it looks like it's up. I'm going to have a drink of beer. I'm going to stop the ping, and I'm going to SSH into that hell machine. So to do that, I need to use that key that we just set up. And we will be using the private key, using the -I here. And we are logging into that IP address that we copied. Oops, that's way more than what we signed up for. SSH-I test. And we will copy the IP address just by clicking on it and by pasting it. And we'll ask if we want to add it to our known hosts. Yes, we will add it to our known hosts. Why is it asking for a password? No, we don't have a password. Why is it asking for a password? Oh, I set up the Hetzner wrong. Let's go back and set up the Hetzner properly because I screwed it up. So this is a demonstration about how ephemeral these machines are. So I'm going to delete that. I no longer paid for it, so I used it for like a minute. So fractions of a cent. And let's set up the server properly. Helsinki. Fedora. We're going to use ARM64. We're going to use the cheapest version. We want IPv4. And we will be using that test key. So make sure that it's selected and that it has a check mark for the SSH key. Now we will buy it. And we didn't change the name, so that's going to be a bit of an issue, but c'est la vie. I'm Go back to the known host and make sure it's gone. All right, it's up. Now we will SSH into it using the private part of the key pair. Should just log us right in, and we're in. Now we will install Tailscale on that machine the same way that we install Tailscale on our machine that we need to protect. So we just copy that curl command, paste it into the Hetzner machine, wait for it to complete. Have another drink of beer. And again, it will tell us how to set up the machine on our Tailscale network. But we want to use this machine as an exit node. So there is a little bit more that we want to do other than the Tailscale up. We do want to do the Tailscale up, but we also want to do an advertise exit node. And again, we have to click on the link to validate this machine on the tailnet. And it's now on the tailnet, and we will see that that machine right there, Fedora-4GB Hell1-1, is now on our tailnet. And it wants to be an exit node, but Tailscale has not validated it for an exit node. So we need to click on the hamburger menu beside it, edit root settings, and then click use as exit node. Save it. And now we can use that machine as an exit node. So we are actually almost, but not quite done with the Hetzner machine. We need to Google for Tailscale exit node. We will click on the first link, and we need to copy the instructions on how to enable IPv forwarding. So this part is important right here. And they have these commands that we want to use. Because I'm using Fedora, I'm going to copy these commands, these echo IPv4, IPv6 forwarding rules, copy them, paste them into the Hetzner machine, and now we are done with the Hetzner machine. I'm going to log off. We don't need that anymore. Now we need to, on the machine that is going to use the exit node, say that we want to use the exit node, because right now our host machine is using the IP address from home, from here in Canada. And you'll see that it's showing that I'm from Canada, Ontario, which is a suburb of Ottawa. We want to appear on the internet like we are coming out of Helsinki. So how do we do that? We do that by restarting Tailscale on the machine that needs protection, using --exit node equals, and we need to use the IP address, not the name, but the IP address of the exit node. So that is, you can click on this, click on copy into the clipboard, and enter. And we should now be set up to use Helsinki as our exit node. So let me open a private window and say, what is my IP address? And it's already giving me a foreign language. And I don't understand this, so I don't know what to click. What do I click? I'll click that. Okay. What's my IP address? And it will say you're now in Helsinki. So you'll see that if I give this a refresh, it's going to tell me Helsinki as well. Oh, it's in Germany. Why is it in Germany? Either way, it's not It tells me that it the IP address that I am using belongs to Hetzner, and Hetzner is a German company. I did expect this to say Helsinki, but okay, it's certainly not Ottawa. It's certainly not Canada, Ontario. So yeah, I'm good to go here. I'm using an exit node that is not my host machine. I can now take this machine, go to the coffee shop, and I'm protected. So, one last thing. How fast is this? How fast is my connection? Let's do a check on fast.com. About 150 megabits per second, which is 15% of normal, but certainly great for an exit node on the other side of the world. Show more info. Can I zoom in here? There it is. Fast.com not want to show me that. I'm not sure if you can see it quite yet, but it's showing me that I'm in Helsinki and that I'm connected to the Netflix server in Stockholm, Sweden. I have pretty poor ping. I have pretty good upload speed. But yeah, I am now using my own private VPN. And what is the cost going to be? So let's go back to Hetzner's pricing. So $379 a month, and I'm gonna assume that they think a month is 30 days of 24-hour days each. So why am I using the calculator that you can't see when I've got this calculator right here? So we've got 30 days times 24 hours. So there's 720 hours if we were to use this for a full month. But of course, we don't want to use it for a full month. So 3.79 divided by that equals about half a euro cent an hour. So if we were to use this for 4 hours, then it would cost us about 2 euro cents. Or if we go back here and let's say we wanted to use it for 2 weeks. So we're going 2 weeks vacation, 14 days of 24 hours each. It would cost us $1.76 to have some protection against the hotel's Wi-Fi if we don't trust them. So it's a whole lot cheaper than your NordVPNs or your private internet accesses, and it is very fast. You saw how fast it was. So I hope you learned something. Thank you very, very much for allowing me to share this with you. Talk to you again soon.